Good evening, everybody. In this video, I'd like to do something a little bit different. I'd like to tell you a story. Now, this story is a personal story. It actually happened to me. Before I continue, let me set the mood. I'm back. Hopefully the mood isn't too distracting for you. Anyway, this is a true story. This actually happened to me. I had just landed a nice job in rural Pennsylvania, a town, shall we say, not too dissimilar from that found in The Night of the Living Dead. It was a small town in rural Pennsylvania. So I got this job, this new job. I was looking for a place to live. And it was a cold night. It was raining. And it was creepy. And this is before the internet. This is before GPS. Before all the modern day luxuries we've become accustomed to. So I was looking for a place to live. I answered a classified ad. I got directions. I was on my way. What could possibly go wrong? Well, let me continue. I was driving and driving, and I just could not find this place. It's like one of these directions where you go 300 yards here, you make a left at the fire station, you make a right at the cemetery. It's one of those kind of things. Anyway, I finally found the place, or at least I thought it was the place. It was this big house. It kind of reminded me of one of those southern plantations. Had a big U-turn driveway made of dirt. At least I thought it was. It was kind of dark, and I only saw what my headlights were showing me. It was raining. I got out of my car, knocked on the front door. This guy answered. I'm getting PTSD just thinking about this. He reminded me of a serial killer. He gave off that serial killer vibe. Anyway, in my mind, I already decided, I don't care if he pays me to live here. I am not living here. But I had to say something. So I said, I am answering your ad for a place to rent. He said, I don't have any ad. And I said, oh, I thought that it was this phone number. And no, you have the wrong place. And so it was pouring rain. And also one little X factor I left out. I wasn't the wealthiest person in the world. So I had an older car. And this car would stall out when it was raining heavily. And it had to be a pretty heavy rain for this to happen. Only the car knew when this was going to happen. So yeah, it was a little bit of a risk going there, knowing this. I went back to my car, tried to start it. It was giving me problems. I'm thinking, I got to get out of here. It was pitch black outside. Like I said, my headlights were showing me what was out there. This guy had no lights on anywhere. Not even inside the house. I don't know what he was concocting inside that house, what was going on inside that house. Anyway, trying to start the car. And finally, I started. Okay, now I'm not totally sure if this driveway is going to go all the way around. I think it will, but maybe it won't. So I decide to just turn around and get out of there the same way I got in, just to be sure. So I start to do that. I inched my way around in the car. And now I got the car facing the direction I want to go. Pitch black outside. And I figure, okay, I'm not going to look for the real place. I'm just going to go and call it a night. And as I was getting ready to go, I heard this.
Open the door! Open the door! Open the door now!
This guy was looking at me with this psychotic look in his eyes. He was enraged, and I had no idea why. Now, the old me would have actually had a conversation with this guy. But this guy was so out of his mind, I had to get out of there. And I had no idea my car could burn rubber. And when I got out of that house, when I got out of that muddy U-turn driveway, I just floored it. And there was a squeal you could probably hear from a quarter of a mile away. And I didn't stop there. There was a stop sign, then there was another road. I just kept right on going out of there because this guy was out of his mind. I had no idea if he's going to follow me. I had no idea what got into this guy. And in retrospect, the only thing I could think of is that I didn't complete the U-turn, that I didn't go and continue out. He probably saw me out of his pitch black house, turning around, and maybe he felt I was doing damage to his lawn. That's the only thing I can think of. Or maybe he got a sudden inspiration to resume his perhaps retired serial killing. Anyway, the moral of the story is that you got to trust your instincts. What was the language involved there? Oh, I don't know. Psychotic look in his eyes. Banging at my car window, trying to open up the door. So, if you guys ever encounter an enraged individual who's trying to open up your car door and cannot be reasoned with, it goes without saying, get the blankety blank out of there and live to fight another day. I hope you've enjoyed this story of mine. It's actually true. I don't think I've exaggerated one detail. Of course, calling the guy a serial killer, it might not be totally fair. So think, what, to be a serial killer, you have to have at least 3 or 4 kills. I don't know what the minimum requirement is these days, but whatever the case may be, this guy was out of his mind. And I was fortunate enough to, shall we say, depart from his presence with a human heartbeat, that being my own human heartbeat. Anyway, you guys, please like, please subscribe, and please stay away from serial killers.